Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising with the sunrise glow. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Keyed up, drop your sign. One at a time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo Kilo starts the day. Check here. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile bass or handheld tight. Everyone's sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and deeper R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker. Smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices.
We'll see how my voice holds up this morning. There are no sick days on the Coffee Break Net.
Stand by.
I feel okay. Just not much of a voice today, so forgive me. I'll certainly restate something if you didn't understand. Morning. Let me take a look at national days. Well, let's see. The national days didn't give me much to work with. We've got a couple though. National Peanut Butter Lovers Day. All right, that's going to be popular. Who doesn't love peanut butter? You either love it or hate it, or you can't have it. But most people, I think, grew up loving peanut butter in all of its forms. And so, what's your favorite peanut butter way of having peanut butter? Sometimes mine's just on a spoon. National Dadgum That's Good Day. Also, maybe there's something else out there they should really think is amazing. And other than that, there's not much else. National Pig Day was on here. There's not a lot. Baby Sleep Day, Finisher's Medal Day. So we'll just go with, I always lean on the food anyway. So All right, let's see who's out there. Let's go ahead and take a round of in and outs this morning so that you may get on with your day. This is KW6U for the Coffee Break Net.
N2 DYI, Jeff, KB6 SSN. KA6 UAI.
And Delta Foxtrot Papa KB7 ESP, Camden Twin Falls Pedestrian Mobile.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over. K3GM. I doubled in the beginning, N6EKZ.
Pretty sure I doubled as well. K06, Mike India.
All right, let's hold it there. We'll make sure we got our list. For now, Jeff, good morning, KO6, Mike India. Yes, you might have been one of those doubles. And good morning, Carl, N6EKV. Also, Bobby pulled you aside for that. Let's see, Jimmy, KA3VGM, I've got you. Robert, KO6KMR. Ken, KB7DFP, Pedestrian Mobile. And Ron, KA6UAI. Tom, KB6SSN, and Patrick up front. You won it all. N2 DYI. Was there somebody else that I missed in that? Ah, very nice. Well, good morning, Patrick. Let's start with you this morning. How about Peanut Butter Lovers Day? Are you a fan?
Good morning, Jeff, and everybody on the net. Boy, if you had told me in 1993 when I got my license that I was somehow able to actually beat a double with an HT talking to a repeater over 2,000 miles away, I'm not sure if I would have something to say to you or not. I probably think you were crazy. Anyway, peanut butter, kind of, sort of whatever about it. It's fine when it's there, but I'm not going to go out of my way for it.
Yeah, I love peanut butter. I can have it by itself on a sandwich. I'll cook with it from time to time. I like it in Thai food. Pretty much love peanut butter. I try not to eat it all the time, though.
Yeah, it definitely is a problem if you do that. When I was younger, I definitely had that problem, so I've kind of cut way back on that.
Well, you're not too far from, if you're not in it itself, peanut butter country, if you're still in North Carolina. I mean, I think that's one of the areas that they grow.
Yeah, I'm still in North Carolina. Not sure how long I'm going to be here, but I do at least know that I will be here until at least March 16th, probably a little bit after that. Man, they broke a whole bunch of stuff at home, so I'm kind of looking at flights and thinking about going back now, but not really want to still.
No, that's funny. That's interesting. You don't want to go home. That's yeah. Looking at the flights as we get closer to Easter are crazy, especially in that Easter week before and after. Just all the school, the travel that people go on vacations. There's no good way to get home around that time.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just avoid that and probably stay a little bit longer and wait until all that passes. I was looking at flights. I typically like to fly on Sundays just because it's a little easier to deal with on the other side. And it is ridiculously expensive to fly on Sundays lately. Like, the price goes up by nearly 100% if I go on Sunday versus any day of the week that is not Friday, even Saturday sometimes.
Well, fighting with all of the commuters that are trying to get home for whatever weekend thing they were doing, it makes sense for moving to where they're supposed to go to be ready to go on Monday. I find Tuesday through Thursday to be the easiest days to travel, but if it's hard on one end, then it's no fun.
Yeah, I would prefer. I would much rather do that, but yeah, it's just not as easy on the leaving side is fine, but the getting there part is less. So anyway, I'll figure it out. Oh man, I don't really have too much else for the net. I've got to go do a thing that I'm not looking forward to. I've had a nice workflow for a particular task that I've been doing once a week for the past 5 years, and I need to completely change that entire workflow because I don't have access to the operating system, the machine, etc. that I used to use, so I have to find an entirely new way to do it, and I've got about 4 hours before that becomes a real problem, so got to go start that process. Anyway, I'll say 7-3, and we'll catch you in next time, KW6U and 2DYI.
All right, Patrick, have fun figuring out what that's going to be. So, in 2DYI, KW6U 73. Good morning, Tom, KB6SSN. How are you this morning? And, well, let's see. You're probably from the area where peanut butter grew. It's mostly in Georgia, right?
Well, I'm from South Carolina, which is right next to Georgia, and Georgia's famous for that red clay, and peanuts grow well in that, from what I understand. But yeah, that whole region through there is peanut country, and a couple of peanut stories for you here. Was dating a girl years and years ago, and we were watching her favorite show, which was one of the reasons I quit dating her, Little House on the Prairie. And there was this young Ingalls girl that was sitting there spreading peanut butter on a piece of bread about 60 years before peanut butter was invented. So I thought, well, they didn't check with their historian on that one, did they?
Oh, I'm sure we can all laugh at different things we see on TV we know didn't exist at the time that they were supposed to be acting in, and that would be funny right there if you knew that.
Yeah, just look for the electric toaster sitting on the counter in the back. There you go. And let's see, peanuts. Why do Southerners eat boiled peanuts? Well, first of all, because they're delicious. But it's a tradition that holds over from the War of Northern Aggression, and that comes from soldiers would forage for peanuts, and with their forage caps, they'd go out and collect the peanuts and they'd boil them up. Then they figured out that if they boiled them in a salt brine, that they'd last for about a week or two. So that's where the boiled peanut comes from. It was part of the Southern ration during the war, and we as a tradition continue to eat it. The same is true of collard greens and a couple other dishes that other people kind of turn their nose at that we eat with zeal. Because it's part of our heritage and it's part of our thing. So really nothing going on today. Got a project for tomorrow. We're breaking out the Yaesu FTM 510 and going to play with that, Larry and I, and see what we can make out of that. I hear all kinds of wonderful, great stories about it, and now we're going to find out firsthand. It might come down to tomorrow. We might swap out the FTM 400 I'm using right now to talk to you here in the van to that FTM 510. Not quite sure yet, but we'll find out when we get it out of the box.
Well, it's always fun to plug in a new radio and figure out how it's going to work for you. In each time there's improvements, but occasionally, sometimes they take something away that you wanted there.
Well, I don't use it so much anymore. One of the things that I do appreciate about this FTM 400 is how well it crossbands. It works extremely well, and when I was going up and taking hikes through the Sierra, which I may again this summer, the advantage of having just a little small HT on your belt and then being able to crossband back to the van to hit the repeaters and that kind of stuff, that was very cool. And I'm told that the FTM 510 does crossband, so we'll find out how, and we'll check out and see how it operates there, and hopefully it will do at least as well as the FTM 400, or maybe even better, so you never know. But I know on the FTM 400 I had to add a cooling stand to it that runs a little fan underneath of it. It's made by Yaesu that they say if you put it into crossband, it can get kind of warm, so you put that fan on it. Now, I don't know if provisions were made for that for the 510. I see that there is no stand available. I'm curious as to whether the case is the same size as the 400 and fits this stand. So all these questions will be answered tomorrow morning, sir.
All right, well, have fun with that. I know crossband repeat can be, I like it. I have to have it in my vehicles. I always make sure that it's crossband. But I've had one bad experience with it where literally it was on for the weekend of camping and I ran my battery down just because I had it up on too much power. So just be careful with it. Yeah, you'll know that, of course. Have fun today figuring it out, and I'm sure we'll hear all about it. KB6 SSN, KW6U73, Tom.
Well, I too have had my crossband incident. I bumped the bottom VFO one time when just reaching for something, and it switched it over from my input frequency to the APRS frequency. And I think Brian said something around 30, 45 minutes, somewhere in that range, of APRS being broadcast here on this repeater because of my crossband, and that was unfortunate. And of course, you couldn't track it to me because it wasn't my APRS; it was everybody else's. So I fessed up to it; it was me. But the fact is that you got to be careful. So now, when I set it up for crossband, I hit the lock button, and that way it can't change. KB6 SSN 73. Have a great day.
The ultimate kerfuffle. Kerchunk, I mean. Have a great day, Tom. Let's see. Good morning, Ron, K6UAI. What are you up to this morning?
K6UAI. Well, I might go out to a park somewhere and kind of do the final portable test on the new kit, but seemed to work out okay yesterday out in the backyard, and of course, the operation was great once I was able to see what I was doing in the sunshine, and the screen kind of disappears no matter what I did out there. It's either sun's either shining on the screen or toward it, or it's reflecting off of my white shirt and lighting up the screen. So it was a struggle, but also because sometimes one eye is looking at something in a different location than the other eye because of my vision. I had the antenna wire and the radio wire on the wrong connections on the tuner, so when I would activate the tuner and take it out of bypass, I had no RF coming in, but I figured that out. Well, Lori figured it out. She goes, "Is this supposed to go on this one?" And I go, "Nope, that's not it." So anyway, we got that all sorted out, and it worked great. But going out for maybe a final test, but at least I had all the right parts in the bag that I needed. I didn't have to run in and out of the house to go get various pieces. So I'm kind of understanding that when packing it up. But with the two kits, some things move back and forth, so I'm gonna have to make a list of those, and plus another list for certain travel of things to bring along, like the battery charger. But today is going to be some of that. But I wanted to say, time out here for a second. I just wanted to say that when you first came on there, I thought, boy, Jeff must have been out until 3 o'clock last night or something. He sounds kind of rough, but I understand it's a cold, so I guess you get a pass on the late night out.
Yeah, I think I was out until probably 9 last night. There was a crap feed, and I didn't have a voice yesterday at all, and was deeply concerned about this morning, and figured I would get a shower, steam out my sinuses, and see how I did. But I made it.
Yeah, that losing your voice can be tough. I was around 1992 or maybe 3 or 4 or something like that. I got pneumonia, a viral pneumonia that they couldn't treat very well, and so it's like, well, go home and rest, don't do anything, and either you'll get better or you won't. But of course, I had some antibiotics helping me get in and out of the place. And even the judge appearances that I had, I would have to get close to the microphone because all I could do was whisper loud. Didn't have any modulated voice. So that was kind of interesting, but, 4 months of that, and it worked out and got better.
All in due time. It's up and down. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, Ron, this was a quick in and out. Did you have anything else for the net?
No, I think that covers it. You have a great rest of the day on the net here. I'll be listening in for a while. And everyone have a great Sunday. K6UAI.
All right, Ron. We'll catch you next time. KA6UAI, KW6U73. And good morning, Ken, KB7DFP, pedestrian mobile. How are you this morning? And let's see, it's a little cloudy over here. I bet it's the same up there in Idaho.
Good morning. It's 44 degrees and cloudy. And now I'm breakfast stationary.
Breakfast stationary. Yep, not mobile anymore. All right, pedestrian mobile is over. Well, what are you having for breakfast today? Is it dadgum good?
Oh, I think it's great. I don't have any peanut butter, although I probably should go get some because I am a fan of that. It's steamed eggs and have a little cheese on them and some toast with some jam, a little yogurt on the side. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty tasty. A good breakfast.
Sounds daggum good to me. I don't normally eat breakfast until later. All right, well, any big plans for your day then?
Most of the things I did yesterday, I'm probably just going to relax today and watch TV, maybe go get a coffee. Just, I'm going to do something or I'm not going to do something. I don't know yet. But I don't have much for the net today, so I'll just turn it over to you. KB7DFP.
There is nothing wrong with that. That's what Sundays are for. So enjoy your fine, relaxing, do-nothing morning. KB7DFP, KW6U73.
Have a great day.
And good morning, Robert. KO6KMR. What are you up to today, this fine Sunday morning?
Well, good morning. Absolutely nothing so far this morning. I've kind of been a bum this morning, I guess, but we'll be going to the gym as usual and continue studying the extra class, which we'll have another class on Tuesday, and that'll bring us down to about, I believe, about 4 more classes is all we've got after Tuesday, so getting close, and still working on my CW codes, learning those, and actually broke the guitars out yesterday for the first time in a long time. So just a lot of little things, I suppose. Over.
Well, it sounds like you're having fun doing a lot of nothing. This is great. The extra class, I enjoy taking that class series. It's fantastic. You learn a lot. You get hands-on. And, of course, learning CW, that just seems like that's a nice flow. Are you learning it just sort of on your own, or are you taking some other class with that?
Right now, I'm just learning it on my own. I did join up with the Long Island CW Club here a while back, but never quite got into it right then. I wanted to focus more on the extra class and get that under my belt, give me an HF radio, and start that. But after I finish the class, I will start the Long Island CW Club once again, and it gives me some accountability, to keep going with it. But right now I'm just going through it, learning here and there, and basically just taking words or phrases and using CW to get them out. It might take me a while, but I work through them. Over.
Fair enough. It's a good way to do it, and I liked classes. I enjoyed doing CW Ops classes. I hadn't tried the Long Island, but you're right. There's accountability, and there's excited people to practice with typically, so you end up with a lot of fun learning CW. So have fun doing that. I think it's a great skill to know, and it's fun for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. On that positive note, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, and I'm going to listen for a bit, drink a cup of coffee, and enjoy the conversation. Over.
All right, Robert. Enjoy this morning listening in, and we'll talk to you next time. KO6KMR, KW6U73. Good morning, Jimmy, KA3VGM. How are you this morning?
Morning, Jeff. KA3VGM. I'm doing fine. The little cold back here in Pennsylvania this morning. It's down to 31 degrees. I think they said we're only going to high at 38 today. It has been warmer than that, but at least the sun is out. So I have sunshine to look at. Anyway, I like peanut butter. I very much like peanut butter. And I very much like boiled peanuts. So I like both. K3VGM, back to you.
Yeah, peanut butter is definitely a part of my life, although I can't say that I've had a lot of boiled peanuts. That sounds like something I need to try out and cooked by somebody who knows what they're doing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a clue of how it's supposed to be. I would just boil them and do nothing with it, maybe with salt or something. But anyway, you have any ham radio activities going on today?
Other than this, not really. I'm going to watch NASCAR and IndyCar later today. They're both on today, so I'm going to watch both of those later today. Okay, for me, Jeff. You, Jeff. And good morning to everybody else.
All right, Jimmy. Well, you enjoy your day. It's nice having you check in, and we'll talk to you next time. KA3VGM, KW6U73. Good morning, Carl, N6CKV. Happy Sunday to you. Do you have plans for your morning?
Hey, good morning, Jeff, and everyone else out there. Well, happy 1st of March. We're into a new month, and I'm a big peanut butter and jelly fan, so that takes care of that. And I'm going to watch NASCAR later on today. I just got to do things around the house in the morning, take a walk, see how my back's doing. Back to you, Jeff.
Now, that sounds great. Yeah, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they were a staple growing up when we wanted to feed ourselves. First thing I learned how to make as a kid, and always had them when we beat Mom home from school. But yeah, it sounds like your day is planned out, as is always, and so you have a wonderful day doing all the things you would rather do, and maybe do nothing. Sundays are for relaxing, Carl. You don't always have to be doing something.
Yeah, I'm going to take it easy today. Just take a few walks to keep my back going. And then not much going on, so I'm going to say 73. Everyone have a good Sunday. This is N6CKV, and thanks for running that, Jeff, and get well.
All right, Carl. Take care. N6CKV, KW6U73. And good morning, Jeff, KO6MMI. Happy Sunday to you, and what's your favorite way to have peanut butter?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning to the net. This is KO6, Mike India, calling out to you from beautifully cloudy East Roseville. My favorite way to do peanut butter is most likely with jelly on a sandwich. When I was a kid, I would do the double-decker, so 3 pieces of bread, peanut butter and jelly in between both, little gaps, and yeah, that was one of my big snacks that I would snack on.
Yeah, I wonder, peanut butter and jelly, and when we were out of jelly, we would put peanut butter and honey sandwiches. I've always loved the jelly, but peanut butter and honey is a close second, maybe with bananas.
I would say that peanut butter and honey is probably my number 1 over peanut butter and jelly. I just have fond memories of peanut butter and jelly, and then also fond memories of celery with peanut butter in the middle. My grandma would make that, and I would eat that when I would get to her house before every Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That was a favorite snack. I would probably eat half a jar of peanut butter that way. Whenever we had celery in the house, we would do that.
Well, today on the agenda, we are not making any peanut butter and jelly. My daughter and I, are making some country fried potatoes. You might be able to hear her. Coraline, would you like to say hello? Good morning. Yeah, we're making country fried potatoes. We're going to sit down and maybe watch some Premier League soccer, and then I'm going to have to go to sleep after that.
Okay, so I think you're having a great day. Country fried potatoes, a little child with you, and some Premier League soccer. All of it sounds fantastic. Well, you enjoy that. Sounds like you have a good day planned ahead, and enjoy those potatoes this morning. Literally with eggs. But have a great day, Jeff. KO6MMI, KW6U73.
Good afternoon, good day, and good evening to the Coffee Break Net 73 to all of you. KO6, Mike India, clear and monitoring.
All right, good morning. Coffee Break Net, this is KW6U. It is National Peanut Butter Day and not much else. Let's see who's out there who would like to check in and tell me how your day is going. This is KW6U taking check-ins. Please let me know if you are an in and out.
Kilo Oscar 6, India Hotel Juliet, in and out.
8 a.m.
Kilo Bravo 6, Lima Uniform Victor. Good morning.
56 degrees.
KV6ED, in and out.
83 KJN, in and out.
All right, we got another round of in and outs this morning. This is fantastic. Larry, good morning. I'll just go right to you. How are you this morning, and what are you up to?
Good morning. I am KO6RJ. I'm not doing anything today. That NASCAR thing sounded good, except for I'm gonna swap it out for a Netflix or one or two. I got everything yesterday taken care of, grocery runs and everything. So, damn, I got nothing to do today. Thanks for asking.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Well, happy Sunday to you. That's the plan, isn't it? Great. When we can have everything done all week and have Sunday to do nothing.
Yes, it is. And for your peanut butter question, it don't matter. I like a peanut butter. It can be stuffed in something. It could be on a cracker. It doesn't matter. Out of the jar with a spoon and, yeah, right there. Yeah, I like peanut butter. Other than that, I got nothing. So I'm going to say, hey, everybody have a blessed day. I know Brett's coming in next. Love you, brother. And I'll say KO6ISJ73 and send it back to you, my friend.
All right, Larry, enjoy your do-nothing day. I'm a little bit jealous. KO6IHJ, KW6U73. Good morning, Brett. KB6LUV, always bright and sunny in your life. How are you today, and what do you have going on today?
Well, good morning, Coffee Break Net land. Not a whole lot going on. The orange ball in the sky hasn't made an appearance yet. Don't know if it's going to today or not, but that's okay. We made up for it yesterday and had an absolute blast at the fox hunt.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to have to get a fox hunt report here. How did that go? Were you successful?
Well, so we met up at Mel's Diner, and we teamed up with Frank, KG9M, and went around with him, and we were actually the first ones to find the fox. I was actually the first one to find the fox.
Well, congratulations. Was this your first fox hunt, or have you had success like this in the past?
So this is my second mobile fox hunt, and what was really exciting about that is that I had my mom, Bonnie, from Newton, Kansas, out with us, and my wife, Dee Dee.
So they got to see how this was all about. Does it? It always brings back memories of Marlin Perkins to me. That's what I think of when they're tracking some animal with a radio collar. But it's very similar to that, and maybe a little more fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. Had a really good time. Forgive me, I can't remember the call sign of the gentleman who hit the fox. I think it was KO6. Oh, goodness. Flog me later. And then also special thanks to Frank again for taking my mom, who first-time fox hunter and just kind of been on the fringe of radio, but she's here. Say good morning, Mom.
Good morning, everybody.
And so yeah, it was good times.
Well, I'm glad you had a blast. Did you make it to the breakfast yesterday? That's another one.
Yeah, a little too early on the breakfast side for to get up there for breakfast, but we definitely made it up there for the fox hunt. So good time. And then maybe a little more detail. It was a very well placed transmitter, placed down in a valley, in a park, on 500 milliwatts, and so it was apparently difficult to triangulate onto, but Frank and us and our group actually we hit it pretty darn quick. We found it within, I think, 25 minutes.
That's pretty decent. That's a good way to do that. Yeah, sometimes those valleys, once you get close to it, you can start really zeroing in, but it's hard to know initially because there's reflections as things are coming out. It's a lot of fun, though, and I'm glad your mom and I'm sorry, the family were able to enjoy that across the board.
Yeah, it was good times. Ended up using, Evan's body blocking techniques that he talks about when we have these fox hunts. Ended up having to take the antenna almost completely off, like not just unscrew it to where it's making less contact, but almost off entirely, because when I was doing the body blocking, I could spin 360 degrees, and no matter where it was, I was picking up the signal. So the body blocking technique definitely helped find that transmitter.
I've used my finger as an antenna or dummy load, however you want to look at it. You can just kind of use that sometimes too, but it certainly works. It's a lot of fun when you get close. Even 500 milliwatts starts to seem kind of loud to a radio. These modern radios are very sensitive. So, well, good job. I'm glad you had fun. Glad the family had fun, and hopefully you'll come out and do it again.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be doing that again. And I've actually also volunteered to be the fox tender in August. So look forward to that learning curve, because I've never dealt with foxes, and I look forward to getting some folks stumped out there, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
Well, I'm sure out, make it a challenge, and that'll be fun. August will be nice and warm, so find someplace nice and cool. Follow up maybe with a milkshake or something. KB6LUV, KW6U. Happy Sunday to you.
Thank you, sir. And happy Sunday to you all as well. Everybody else out there in Coffee Break Net land, have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. KB6LUV, be of love, 7-3. Clear and listening.
All right, Brett. Have a great day. Good morning, Ed, KB6ED. You are also in and out. How are you this morning? And are you a peanut butter fan?
Good morning, Jeff on the net. Yeah, I'm a peanut butter fan. Well, let me tell you first. I'm cruising up 101 to a little town north of me, Willits. I think we've talked about that before. But anyway, I'm going to check out a new coffee shop I haven't been to. I just needed to get a vehicle out, get some lubrication moving through it, keep the battery charged, and I thought a trip out to a new coffee shop would be a good way to go. So, well, the deal with peanut butter is that I really do my best to keep sweets out of the house, but there are those times when I'm just like super duper craving something sweet, and so peanut butter and honey is the treat of choice, and so that's my go-to. And then peanut butter and pickle sandwiches is just a definite favor, generally on wheat bread, and I eat those quite often. Dill pickle.
DB and pickle. It sounds great. I don't think I've ever actually done that. I'll have to give that a go. That sounds like a combination on nice wheat bread to try out.
And of course, I grew up with the celery and peanut butter. Always enjoy that. But I got to figure out where I'm going here. I guess I better put it in my app, in my map. So I was quick in and out. I'll turn it back over to you, and I hope you have a great day, Jeff. Thanks for running the net. KV6ED 73.
All right, Ed. Well, enjoy your Sunday ride to the coffee shop. Sounds like you're going to have a good day. KV6ED, KW6U 73. Good morning, Anna. KD3AJN, how are you this morning, and do you have any big plans today?
Good morning, Jeff, and everyone on the net today. No big plans, just doing laundry and staying home, resting because I've been with the grandkids for 3 days and they wore me out. Peanut butter, I like Reese cups. And when all the different Reese's things come out at the different holidays, like the eggs are out now, I really like those.
Boy, Reese's did stick the landing on the peanut butter and chocolate combination, didn't they? And then, of course, they always have the special things coming out. I do love them. I try not to eat them, but boy, they're a lot of fun.
Yes, I have a whole bunch here right now because a friend of mine bought me a whole bunch of Reese's for my birthday. And then another person bought me the eggs. So right now I have a whole bunch of them, but I've been trying to spread them out and just take one or two at a time.
I don't know how you do that. You have you have a stronger will than I. If I open the bag's going in. Easter time comes out with all kinds of favorite treats for all, and oh man, I just love all of the sweets, but Reese's combinations are just super nice. But I don't know how you eat just one or two at a time, and how you do that.
Well, I get one or two out at a time and then put the bag away. If I leave the bag out, it'll be gone. The other thing I like with peanut butter is cookies. Peanut butter cookies, they're really good.
Yeah, we grew up with peanut butter and peanut butter cookies. It was just one of those things that when we ran out of oatmeal or something, we'd just make peanut butter cookies, or my mom would make them with the fork imprint. You know, you kind of do a crosshatch with the forks. It just brings back memories.
I have made many of those cookies and did the fork imprint. I always wondered why they did that.
Just a style thing, I suppose. It was popular for a while, and that's how we grew up doing that. On occasion, like oatmeal cookies that we do a thumbprint with some, some jelly. My mom would do, if they came out a little thicker, a little thumbprint and some jelly. But mostly it was just the plain crosshatch ones with chunky peanut butter. So we always had some chunks of peanuts in there.
You know, that's funny. I like peanuts, but I never liked the chunky peanut butter for some reason. I don't know why, but I like peanuts.
Well, I think that's a texture thing for most people. They either love it or they don't, and they like the consistency one way or another. I am ambiguous. I don't care if it's chunky or like it if it's just smooth and creamy. So I think I just like eating food. And fortunately, I was a busy kid and didn't have a lot of time at home. I was gone all day. Otherwise, I would probably be 300 pounds.
That's funny. We all are like that. I was constantly eating when I was a kid, and peanut butter was one of my favorite things. But I got to tell you, when I was a kid, one of the things I did eat was peanut butter and mustard sandwiches. And my family thought that was really gross, and now I think it's gross. But I don't know why I did it.
Oh, how funny. It's not too far off from Ed's peanut butter and pickles. I've never had that combination. Now, peanut butter and mustard, haven't a clue what that's all about. Maybe there's something about the vinegar that is likable.
I don't know. I don't like it now and would never eat it, but that's what I did when I was a kid. Well, Jeff, everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. KD3AJN.
All right, Anna. You have a fine morning. Happy Sunday to you and the family, and we'll talk to you next time. KD3AJN, KW6U73. All righty, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U, and I'll go ahead and take some more check-ins. It's National Peanut Butter Day, not much else going on. Sundays are for relaxing. We don't need to cram too many things in on Sunday. But I'll go ahead and take some check-ins. Let me know if you are and in and out. Ragtubes are welcome as well. Taking check-ins.
AM6, YKCA, Sam Plain Victor, good morning. KC up QV. I don't know when I'll be going.
KJ5,
All right, I had some kerfuffles there. So I did get you KJ5HHT and KC8FQV, and there were doubles and doubles in there. So let's go through, and we'll get the rest of it here coming through.
W6EK Mobile.
W6EK.
All right, so this time I got Gerry at W6EK Mobile and KM6YKX. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to take Gerry real quick because his mobiles are very short. Good morning, Gerry, W6EK. What are you up to today?
Good morning, Jeff. Morning, everybody. W6EK. Oh, heading over to work. Another grueling 3-hour work week, so got to go get it done. And peanut butter. I just about lived on that stuff along with jelly and sandwiches when I was a kid going to school. It was rare for me not to have a PB&J sandwich.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, that's one of those things that's a staple for everyone, especially for those of us that ran around somewhat feral. You know, we'd come home and there was always peanut butter and bread, and so we made something.
Yeah, that's a Thai food. Just quickly, a number of years ago, we were in Cody, Wyoming, parked next to some folks who were from Amarillo, Texas. And, you know, peanuts grow down in Georgia. Well, they were farmers from the Amarillo area, and they grew peanuts. I never knew peanuts grew in Amarillo. Well, have a good one. I'm just about there. W6EK. Thanks for running the net, Jeff.
All right, Gerry, have a great day. Thanks for checking into the net this morning. W6EK, KW6U73. I'll kind of skip around through the doubles here. My apologies. KJ5HHT, Trucker Larry, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Jeff, everybody on the net. I am doing great. I'm just east of Crashlanna on 20, 72 degrees, sun shining, headed to Kingstree, South Carolina for Monday. Yes, peanut butter and jelly was a staple for me also. I preferred creamy, but before, Peter Pan used to make a honey roasted whipped peanut butter. I guess they've quit 6-7 years ago, but anyways, and on another note, my oldest son has graduated from OTS school for the Army at Fort Benning, Georgia, and now he is headed to Charlottesville, Virginia, to learn how the Army wants him to be a lawyer. They've got different rules and different ways that they take care of that type stuff. So, well, that's all I've got for today. Back to you, Jeff.
Well, that's not so simple, and good for him, and congratulations on having a son graduating from OTS, and to become I guess, what would they call it in the Army? I can't remember. But in either case, learning how to become a lawyer in the Army, that's not going to be, that'll be very challenging for him. Good for him.
He did 2 years in college. The last 4 was in Tulane. He's a lawyer. He passed the bar, but he just has to learn the specific different rules of being a JAG attorney. I think that's what they call it. So, but that's it. 73s. You guys have a good day. Back to you.
Well, I'm sure he'll figure it out. Yeah, it's a completely different process. So, have a great day, Larry. Thanks for checking into the net this morning. KJ5HHT, KW6U73. Hey, morning, Rob. KM6YKX. What are you up to this morning?
Waiting for the sun to shine on my solar panel. I've got a little successful experiment from yesterday. I got a special charger, solar controller, a solar charge controller, but it's special. It's called a boost version, and it's very specific to charge my 48-volt golf cart. So it was pretty fun to watch it come on yesterday, except for the RF that it was putting in the radio, but nobody else could hear it. I just had a hill on the UHF radio. So we'll see what it does today if the sun decides to peek out. And tooling around. Going to go to Folsom and get a Facebook motorcycle jacket and
far as peanut butter, oh yeah, who doesn't love peanut butter? Like all the sandwiches, banana and peanut butter, honey and peanut butter and jelly. See, the thing about my growing up, though, well, one weird thing, too, my mom also ate peanut butter and mustard sandwiches, and I thought it was the weirdest thing. Never got into it myself, but she's 85, so apparently it was a thing back in her day. But she was also a health nut. So it was a special occasion at a friend's house when I got, like, Wonder Bread with Jiffy peanut butter. Otherwise, at my house, it was whole wheat bread with the kind of peanut butter that you've pretty much always had to stir. And it was so hard that, it was really hard to put the peanut butter on the bread without tearing the bread. So, like I said, it was a real treat to go to somebody else's house and have, some Jiffy peanut butter on some Wonder Bread. But lastly, what I do periodically and what I did last night was we had some leftover Costco roaster chicken. So I took myself some peanut butter and added some half and half and some Worcestershire and some little bit of sriracha and some cayenne pepper, and what else did I put in there? I don't even know. Maybe some onion powder. Made myself a spicy peanut Thai sauce to put on my chicken. So there's my peanut butter story.
I do like the Thai sauce with peanut butter, but I have no idea how to make them. I guess I need to look up a recipe and invent my own. Yeah, PB&J's used to be part of my staple for backpacking or whatever mountain climbing I was doing in the snow, at skiing or whatever. It didn't matter if it got smashed in the bag when you crashed, but you would just eat it anyway because it would fill you up.
100%. It almost gets better later, especially like if you use honey, because it does something. It like crystallizes in there, and then you have this, sandwich with a little bit of sugary crunch to it. And it was always in the backpack when I was skiing, and still go dirt biking. Peanut butter and jelly. It's easy. It's quick. It works, and and it tastes good too.
And a smashed peanut butter and sandwich is just fine. I did some boiled eggs one time, to take them on a ski trip, and when I smashed them, they were just this mess in my backpack because it broke through the bag, and so I thought, I'm going to stick to the PB&J. It's much safer.
For sure. I don't know, though. I've that made me think about egg salad, and I would take those too, an egg salad sandwich. And then later, what I decided to do was instead of making it and putting it in, making the sandwich and putting it in a Ziploc bag, you just make the salad and put it in a Ziploc bag, and then you bring the bread separate and you kind of tear the end off the bag and squeeze it out onto the bread, and then your sandwich is fresh.
Sounds like a good way. I used to make lots of egg salad, and now I've been trying to make it with Greek yogurt, trying to cut down on the amount of mayonnaise I have. But a good egg salad sandwich, definitely good. Anyway, all right. Well, have fun with your solar experiment today. You might get a little bit of sun. It's kind of cloudy out there, and so curious to see how well it does in the cloudy conditions.
Not so great based on yesterday. It really needs some good full sun because it's trying to step up the voltage, and that's not super efficient there. But what I noticed is, like right now, it's on, so the unit is powered by the solar panel. If the solar panel's not plugged in, it doesn't turn on. Probably as a way to make sure it doesn't drain the battery. But so it's got enough power right now to turn the unit on, but not enough to charge. And so we'll see how that goes. And I'm surprised you're not eating a whole bunch of mayonnaise and carbo loading for your trip. You're going to eat those calories. And then Yeah, let us know if you have any special requests, and we can, maybe some of us can be a trail angel and meet you at one of the highways and bring you a peanut butter and jelly or a salad sandwich. All right, Jeff. Have a great Sunday, and I will catch you later. KM6YKX, Rob in Auburn.
All right, Rob. Thanks for chatting. I might catch you later on today if you're on the air. KM6YKX, KW6U73. Morning, Mark. KC8FQV. How are you this morning, and what's going on with you?
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly. Oh, I like them. In fact, I had one the other day because my mom had them. We don't always have peanut butter, but it's always here. It's always in the house. That used to be one of the things we always had. But now we eat lunch meat a lot. Lunch meat sandwiches and that. We got a chicken. Chicken, they got ham, sliced ham, they got sliced turkey, and they had sliced chicken. So I said, oh, we haven't had that in a while. So I got that the last time I was at the store. But yeah, we have peanut butter and jelly the other day. I was thinking what to have, and I know, there's peanut butter and jelly. When I woke up this morning, there was a dusting of snow outside. And then Mr. Souls taking care of that, and Mr. Souls opened it off, and most of it's gone. Well, where the sun can get it, it's gone. And other places, as soon as you can get to it, it will. We got 26 degrees out here. I went to the auto show over the Friday. We're going to go down to my sister's today for the one boy's birthdays today. So we'll go and celebrate that. So, other than that, not much here happening. I don't know why I got a cold or something, a little bit ache. So we'll send it back to Net. Probably I'll take coldies. I'll probably go find one of them and take. You only take one a day on this coldies we got, the last one. So I think I'll take one of them, but I got to take my pills and do the eye drops and that. A whole slew of stuff to do. So we'll send it back to Net, KCFQV.
Well, it does seem to be cold season. I myself have a sinus infection, and so far I'm hanging out. I was worried about it last night because I couldn't talk. All the symptoms that come off from that, and I picked up a cold from the grandkids. So it is what it is this morning. Well, it sounds like a dusting of snow is always, I always like the way it looks when it just dusts a little bit, and then it melts away so that it's not a problem. So congratulations on getting a nice view in the morning. It always looks so nice and clean.
And the thing is, I have gone out at night when you get the snow at night and you look like at the house and the light on the house are on and you see the crystallizing on the branches of the tree. But I'll send it back to Net, KCFQV.
All right, Mark. Well, hey, you have a wonderful Sunday. Take care. Enjoy your day. It's supposed to be a day of relaxation and rest. So have a good one. KC8FQV, KW6U73. Yeah, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. Who would like to check into the net this morning? We've been moving along. It's mostly been a discussion about peanut butter. Who does not love a good peanut butter? There might be some folks out there that don't like it or are allergic to it, and so you don't know all the full benefits. But anyway, good morning. I'll go ahead and take some check-ins. Please let me know if you are an in and out.
K6 DCL, good morning, Jeff.
Kilo Charlie 6, Sierra Lima Echo. I'll just be a regular check-in. I wanted to report out on the Foxen KC6 SLE.
K4LGI, Sam and Denver.
I got you K6DCL and Graydon KC6SLE and Sam K4LGI. Let's see, Sam, where you normally are an in and out? Are you an in and out this morning as well?
I guess so. I forgot to say that. I'll be in and out. Thank you.
All right, well, let's put you right up front. Good morning, Sam. How are you today? Happy Sunday, and are you a fan of peanut butter?
Well, I sort of ditto the remarks about Reese's peanut butter, and either like it extremely soft or kind of like the Reese's type. You know, I was looking at the Pacific Crest Trail last night and trying to figure out what you're up to there. If you don't make it, I'll still be proud of you there.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's the word has gotten out. That's the plan. I'll take off from Mexico, the Mexican border, right over by the National Defense Corridor. So I won't get to go touch the actual fence, but there's a marker that's a couple hundred feet away from it. So I'll start there and start hiking, and we'll see how it goes. I'm very familiar with the Sierra Nevada. Hiked it through there quite a bit. But the hardest part, and for me, I think, will be through the desert. And once I get past that, it's home free.
Yep. Something else. I saw the starting point is Campo. I guess that's across the border now. I don't know. But anyway, good luck to you, and quite a task. You'll be away about 5 months, I guess. So you're going to do segments and come back or anything like that?
Well, my plan is to do it all the way through in one season. So I have 5.5 months to accomplish that. And so hopefully I can get that done in the allotted time. You know, we'll see how it goes. We got to stay injury-free and well-fed. And, those are the two main things. If you can stay injury-free, you don't lose time. And so that will be the goal. And, of course, if you miss something for fires, I'll circle back. And if I don't complete it, I will do it next year. I'll complete it.
All righty. Well, just a quick in and out, so I won't drag it out very much. I do know as I got older, I learned the trick about putting Vaseline on the bottom of my feet. I was reading, and I see some of the heels crack from the hikers and between the toes and all that. But anyway, I'm sure you got quite a layout there in terms of equipment, as light as possible. We'll see you later there, Jeff, and have a nice week, everybody. K4LGI, Denver.
All right, Sam, thanks for checking in, and thanks for your interest on the PCT. K4 Lima Golf, Idaho, KW6U73. All right, good morning, Dave, K6DCL. How are you this morning, and are you a peanut butter fan?
Jeff, K6DCL here. Hello, everybody on the net. Yes, I love peanut butter. I have a story to tell back when I was 10 years old, maybe a little bit, well, around 10 years old. In the summertime, my mother would take me over to the local creek for swimming. That's where everybody went to swim. So that's where A, learned how to swim, and B, learned how to snorkel in the creek, because there was little fishies in there too. I got home and I was starving, and when I was starving, no matter where I came from, it was always peanut butter sandwiches. I only like Skippy creamy peanut butter, not chunky. I have sensitive teeth, and so that's my go-to sandwich was always peanut butter. Not even with jelly, but when I had jelly, it was Welch's grape jelly. I think I even have some still in the refrigerator. Not from many years ago, but recent. Anyway, so do love peanut butter, Jeff. Back to you for your comments on it.
Well, it sure does seem to be a staple for, kids across the generations. It's popular all the way around. So I know I'll make it for my grandkids once in a while, a PB&J sandwich, and they always love it.
It's always a great staple, and you can always count on it. I have a big Jordan, and I don't refrigerate it, so it's in the closet where we keep our canned goods and stuff. And so anyway, other than that, on a separate subject, I've got a Yaesu FT DX10 coming tomorrow, so that'll be fun. And I think I've told you about my Yaesu 3185R. It's got great audio, and it's 85 watts, and it is my base station now. So I'm going to have my VHF Yaesu and my HF Yaesu. So that's fun. First time ever for me. I've always been an Icon person. And anyway, I'm looking forward to the DX10. I've heard some good things about it. And anyway, other than that, that's it, buddy. Not much else going on here on the homestead. I did have my son came up on Saturday and with my grandson, and we had a fun time. Went out to lunch, and he fixed my weather station. It needs batteries, and it's going to need batteries again. So I ordered good Duracells instead of the crappy, bulk crap from either Amazon or someplace else. And I don't use that stuff anymore. Just buy small quantity batteries, and so that's my deal, and that's my way of doing things. We're looking forward to tomorrow, and it's going to be fun. K6DCL.
Well, it sounds like you've got a couple radios to play with. I enjoy my FTDX10, and your VHF station is affectionately known as the George Foreman Grill. It's got that big grill on there, and it can get hot and when you crank up the watts. But have fun learning those radios and having fun with them, Dave, and thanks for checking into the net this morning. K6DCL, KW6U73.
K6DCL 73, my friend. Talk to you next week. Be safe. Be good. See you later. Bye.
Good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE. Yes, you have a fox hunt report. Very good.
Let's talk about peanut butter first. And good morning to all. We used to take the squeeze tubes when I was backpacking in much younger days. We would take the squeeze tubes, and I'm sure they still have the squeeze tubes, and we would fill a squeeze tube full of honey, a squeeze tube full of peanut butter, and we would take a hearty cracker like a Triscuit. And the nice thing about the Triscuits is they travel well because they're not fragile. And nutrient-wise as well as salt-wise, because you need to replenish your salt when you're working that hard, they worked out really good. So quite often for lunch we would have a little Triscuit with peanut butter and honey on top of them, crackers for lunch.
Yeah, I've actually taken that exact combination you described backpacking before in around the Tuolumne Meadows area. A couple of different times. I had squeeze tubes for years around here for that purpose. Always have peanut butter on hand and either jelly or honey. I preferred the honey backpacking. And Triscuits or bread or whatever were part of that.
And I will admit we used to pack a brick of Velveeta cheese and put it on the Triscuits as well for a little variety, but you've heard the bear story where the can ate everything out of my pack except the Velveeta cheese. And after I saw the bear turn down Velveeta cheese, I decided I wasn't going to eat it anymore either.
The cheese that may last centuries. 2,000 years from now, they'll wonder what on earth we were eating.
They will. It'll probably still be edible, kind of like Twinkies. Let's see. Let's give out a report on the fox hunt. We had a great fox hunt yesterday. It was well attended. We had 12 people participate. One of them was the fox tender. The other 11 actually hunted for the fox. All 11 found the fox. So a very successful fox hunt. I want to thank Marty, KO6GXX, for being the fox tender yesterday, being the host for the fox hunt. He did a great job putting it together. He had it well organized and did a good job hiding the fox. It was a challenging thing to find, but it was doable. So good balance in there. So Marty, if you're listening, thanks again for doing that. We will not have a fox hunt next month in March because it conflicts. It's on the same date as the Loomis Hamfest. So no fox hunt next month. Next fox hunt will be in April. And I want to acknowledge that the winner yesterday, let me take a quick break. Yesterday, the first person to find the fox was Brett, LUV, I think it is, yeah, LUV. Brett and his wife, Dee Dee. And he also had his mother, June, from Kansas out, and she got to go on her first fox hunt. So that was a lot of fun. The three of them hunted as a team, and June was just a real kid, and it was a pleasure to meet her. I made a few jokes about Kansas, but I don't think they went over very well.
Comment. Go ahead, comment.
KB6LUV here, and just a quick correction for folks out there. Her name is Bonnie. No worries, Graydon. Just don't call her late for dinner, okay?
Hi, and there's not much that you can say about Kansas that I don't already know and haven't heard for years, so it doesn't bother me one bit.
Hi. Back to control. KB6LUV. Clear. Listening.
I don't know where June came from.
There we go. Graydon. Yeah, that was, June was sitting with, next to Brett there, so. How funny, yeah, not much you can say about Kansas she hasn't heard already. Not a surprise to me. I don't know that I've ever been to Kansas, so I can't comment.
I remember one time my son and I were coming back from a car show in Nashville, and we went to the north, and in crossing Kansas, he was driving, and we were towing a trailer with the car we'd taken back there. And Kansas is a beautiful state, but it's flat, and it has a lot of corn, a lot of farms, a lot of silos. And after a while, all the farms and silos started looking pretty similar, so I decided to take a nap. So I slept for about 20 minutes, and I woke up, and we were going by another farm, another silo. And I looked over at my son, and I said, "Are you going around in circles?"
Oh, how funny. I guess so. When you're looking at it, you never know what they're up to.
But it was fun. I enjoyed all the states I've been through. Anyway, I'll let you back. I just wanted to thank everybody again for the fox hunt yesterday. That was a lot of fun. If you haven't done a fox hunt, I encourage people to come out and try it. I mean, pretty much everybody that tries it really has a good time. It's a good social event. It's a good challenging event. It's a good event to figure out just remind yourself all the ins and outs of your equipment. Familiarize yourself with some of the equipment you may not be using on a regular basis. And it's good just for when we actually have to go out and find a stuck transmitter or something like that periodically. Anyway, Jeff, you have a great day. KC6, SLE. Everyone else have a great day, too.
Well, yeah, fox hunting, it does happen that sometimes transmitters get stuck and people are unaware, and you got to, remind them. And the same thing happens with nodes. Apparently, we had a node just a moment ago kind of getting stuck on, but we were able to transmit over it. So hopefully it doesn't get stuck again. Thanks for the report, Graydon, on the fox hunt. Yeah, it is fun. Great reminder for our hams on how their equipment can work, and it's a great introduction for new people to the hobby. In particular, those just interesting to learn about the things you can do with radio. So, thanks for the report. KC6 SLE KW6U 73. All right, this is the Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U. I think we have the Fireside net on the East Coast hub. That is kind of keying up on top of us here. So I've tried disconnecting it, and looks like it's permanently disconnected, it says, but it's not working. That's it. This is KW6U for the Coffee Break Net. And let's take some more check-ins. Who's out there? It doesn't seem to be interfering too much. And today we've been talking about peanut butter, of all things, and of course the fox hunt yesterday. Let me know if you are an in and out.
WB9OUF, like to check in. Kilo Golf 9 Mike.
KO6TH, good morning, Jeff.
All right, let's go through this real quick. I apologize. Good morning, Greg, KO6TH, and Frank, KG9M. And the first station, UF is all I got out of that. My apologies. The UF, come on back, please. Did I miss anyone on that round of stations there? I've tried to disconnect that here for a while, and I'm not having any success. There's someone out there who's listening that can disconnect that node. 52879 is impeding on us here a little bit. All right, well, we'll go ahead and move on. Good morning, Frank, KG9M. How are you this morning?
Morning, Jeff. And logging in to see if I can take care of that station. Kilo Golf 9 Mike. Yeah, just a few things. Thanks for running the net first. And then on the fox hunt, as Brett said, I got to be their Elmer / chauffeur. And really had a good time sitting in the vehicle as we're going around from place to place, getting to chat with Dee Dee and Bonnie and get to know Brett a little bit better. And we had good luck. Sometimes
Sometimes you just kind of stumble on it, and we did that. But I was able to show them, some of the different techniques, and that was a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, the fox hunt in general, and yeah, thanks for Elmering them on that. It is fun to get to know people while you're doing fox hunt stuff as well. We don't always get to sit around and chat so directly at times. Did you also go to the breakfast?
Yeah, I did. Made it to the breakfast in time. Sometimes I show up a little bit too late. There was actually one chair, maybe two chairs left, but the main table was filled. Got to sit next to Craig, chatted for a bit. It was a good turnout and really good weather too. It was a great morning. So I'm glad that I was able to, excuse me, participate in both of those events. And one other thing, along with the peanuts or peanut butter, is Marty, the fox tender. He actually was talking about putting peanut butter on his steak. Have you ever had that before, Jeff?
I have not, but have I ever had it? No. Have I heard of it? Yes. And I can't remember the context right now. It is part of some recipe, but I don't know. Never had it.
Rob, KM6YKX, talked about peanuts, peanut sauce on chicken. I've had that before, and that sounds good. So there's some precedence for putting peanuts on meat. But it just struck a few of us odd that, peanut butter on steak. But, some of these things are good. My favorite way to have peanut butter is on my waffles with some syrup. That's a good.
PB and waffles and syrup. Now, I haven't done that either, and that does sound good. I'm going to agree with you there. Making waffles is kind of a treat around here. I usually just make it for the grandkids, but it's fun when we do, so I'm going to have to try that with peanut butter.
It's a good thing. And I just remembered one other thing on the fox hunt that I got to share, and it was when we pulled up and we pretty much knew we were pretty close to it. Brett was out doing his body blocking. I was getting set up for a different antenna, and all of a sudden I hear this, "Found it!" shouted, out of pure excitement. It was a lot of funny. It was a lot of fun to hear him react to finding it. And there were a few other folks in the area that heard him too and wandered over there to see what he was doing. Fun, but yeah, a lot of joy, a lot of fun. It was a great morning, and thanks again to Marty for putting that on. Hamfest next month. We are 26 days away from that, so please check out hamfest.w6ek.org and get all the information on prizes. There have been some recent updates there. Thanks to the prize team, Rob and Aaron, for doing that, and for all the team leads for doing all the planning. Still looking for volunteers, though. Please sign up. Please contact me. Please contact the team leads, and we will all work together to have a great event. Other than that, that's all I have, Jeff. Thanks so much for running the net. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. KW6U, Kilo Golf 9 Mike 73.
Oh, how funny. Yeah, the discretion part of the fox hunt of not cluing everybody in to where it's at, that's so hilarious. That does happen when you find it. You get a little excited. So, how fun. All right, KG9M, thanks for the announcement on the Hamfest. I'll mention it again coming up here in announcements in a few minutes, so we'll make sure it gets heard. And thanks for what you do with that there, Frank. KG9M, KW6U 73. Good morning, Greg, KO6TH. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Greg, KO6TH. Lovely day. Well, not quite so lovely, I guess. It's kind of cloudy outside, but not all that cold, and it's right up to 60 already. Almost normal Sunday. My daughter's going to be coming up later today, and we're going to do some pruning of roses and things. Got some other stuff to take care of. So, yeah, it's gonna be a good day. Sitting here flogging my my boat's computer, trying to open CPN new version updated, and it's just not behaving itself. So we'll figure it out. To peanut butter, yes, love peanut butter. Chunkier the better. And we'll have it on with or without anything basically. Peanut butter and honey is kind of my go-to for lunch sometimes. Let's see, especially the local honeys, really good. Blackberry honey is my favorite. But there's let's see, there's peanut butter, and they make pretzels with peanut butter kind of in the center of them. Peanut butter filled pretzels are good. Let's see, peanut butter on celery. I don't usually have celery; it doesn't last long enough. Yeah, love peanut butter. And what else is there about peanut butter? Something about peanut butter. Anyway, back to you, KO6TH.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the PV filled pretzels. That's always fun. Or you can just stick the pretzel in the peanut butter and have it that way. For me, celery has always been just a vehicle to enjoy the peanut butter, which makes it refreshing. Is that crisp, moist, thing of a cold celery that helps you wash the peanut butter and keep it from sticking through your mouth everywhere.
Yeah, crisp celery is the problem. I don't eat it enough that to keep it crisp, and it kind of gets wilty and stuff. One secret, though, is before trying to put the peanut butter on the celery is to dry the celery. Otherwise, it doesn't stick, and you get a big mess. Yeah. What else was there? Putting peanut butter on a banana, and then with that sticky upper, the layer there, you put, I guess, raisins. What was it? Ants on a log, right? Is the concept. What else was there about? Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff. Fortunately, not allergic. I understand the advice to not give kids exposure to it early on was wrong. It's better to give them exposure. Otherwise, they will build up they will not build up a tolerance to it or something. Anyway, there's some research on that. So, currently the allergy rates are coming down, which is great. Anyway, on with the day. What else is going on? We got club meeting in a week and a half, and I got Astronomy Club this coming week. And I got to get the newsletter out for the Astronomy Club. Missing the President's Report. Yeah, got to get that. Anyway, on TH.
Yeah, ants on a log. I remember peanut butter and banana. That was a favorite thing when I ran track in high school. We would just make sure we'd had that between meets, so that was fabulous. And I'd had ants on a log once, and I really enjoyed it. Fantastic. I forgot about that one. These are things I'm going to get to enjoy on the PCT because I'm not going to be so worried about being so undercaloried or overcaloried like I am now. My life is full of food at the moment, and when I'm out there on the trail, I won't be able to get enough. So ants on a log is probably going to be a treat. I'll give it a go. Have a great day, Greg. Enjoy your Sunday. And we'll catch you next time. This is KW6U73.
73, Jeff. Stay warm, stay cool, whatever it's going to be here, and we'll talk to you next week. KO6TH.
All right, good morning, Coffee Break Net. It is time to go through the announcements, so I'm glad Frank brought up HamFest. We'll just start with that. Frank did a good job. I'll let you know right at W6EK.org on the main webpage. You will see a nice flyer for the Loomis HamFest, which talks and shows some of the prizes. We got a mic IP node from Shark RF. There's a 511 Rush Moab bag. We got a POV radio cage, Alpha antenna, lots of gift certificates from HRO. It's free admission and parking. Sellers, it's $10. There's lots of sponsors, RT Systems, PowerWorks, ARRL, among others, HRO. It's good. This is the great event. So you got to remember, you got to mark your dates. It is, the last Saturday in March, March 28th. Now, when you click on the flyer, you can get great information on here. You can click on the flyer and you get a chance to go ahead and sign up as a vendor. There's a communications plan. You can donate to the event if you like. Parking, information, the prizes, all kinds of resources for the clubs that are volunteer tab there to help and contact us. So here's the thing. If you're a member of the club and you're there just meandering around, you'll probably get pressed into service for a while. And rather than just get chain gained to something that you don't particularly like, just sign up and volunteer for an hour in one of the areas that we need you. I mean, the more people that do it anyway, the easier it is and the less time you have to spend doing it. So it's an all hands-on-deck event. It does take a village to make this work well. Somehow we always pull it off. And the weather's always fantastic that time of the year. Who doesn't love a nice spring day for the first and I think best ham fest in California? So that said, we're going to go ahead and go through some other announcements. Just real quick with the nets, Placer County Aries has some kind of a net going on 7:30 p.m. on every Sunday evening with a few exceptions. You can go to Placer County Aries. They have a nice webpage. Just do a quick Google search and you'll find them very quickly. Every 7:30, some kind of an exercise either on the repeaters or by WinLink or otherwise. So the All Nodes net is, the All Nodes net every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time on the W6EK 2-meter repeater and AllStarLink 51018. This is a nationwide net for all things nodes, an Elmer net for nodes. 6 p.m. is so the whole country can participate. The Elmer net is every first and third Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on the 2-meter repeater hosted by Eric, W6EMR. Yeah, go ahead and check into the net and post your question to the brain trust that is W6EK Repeater system. There's a lot of people that listen in, and more than likely, if you have a problem, someone's going to have an answer for you. So check into the every first and third Wednesdays. And there's what I like to call the alter ego to the ElmerNet. That is in the shack every second and fourth Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. on the club Zoom room. Go to W6EK. There's a Zoom link. You can check into that and maybe show off your project and show off your problem. It's a visual experience as well as the ElmerNet is listening. This one has some visual component to it with Zoom. The weekly 2-meter net is every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. ARRL news, satellite report, and a mystery question, which is a lot of fun. Mystery question along with some very creative answers that come with that. So I enjoy that. That's probably my favorite part of the weekly net is the mystery question. And the rest of it as well. Go ahead and check in for wherever you are if you're on your HT. Often I've found out there's locations in my neighborhood where I can't check in with my HT walking the dog. So in other places, if you're mobile, just check into that net and go ahead and listen in every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. And then there's the Friday night trivia every first and third Friday, 7:30 p.m. Hosted by, we got different folks that host it. It's a lot of fun. We'll see how, just check in on Friday evenings and see how the net goes. There's all kinds of questions. It's a lot of fun to listen into that. Now, the monthly breakfast is the last Saturday of every month. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen with regards to Hamfest. That's where the breakfast is going to be, I suppose, at Hamfest instead. But the last Saturday of every month, usually you can just mark your calendars for dinner or breakfast at Mel's on Highway 49, and typically followed by a fox hunt most of the year, with only an exception or two ever. The breakfast is pretty consistent. And that happens to be the day of Hamfest, Saturday, March 28th. So we'll go over that a little bit more later. The next club meeting is March 13th, 7:30 p.m. at the new location, the Placer County Health and Human Services Conference Center at the Auburn DeWitt Center with very easy access. You can get there from I-80 Bell Road or up Highway 49. It's a beautiful facility, secure parking, but don't forget to bring your food for a food bank donation. And I have a little secret. One of the things I do is I go to Costco when I need peanut butter, and I buy their Costco 2-pack, and I bring one to the meeting, and I keep one for myself. How about that? It's a nice way. Peanut butter is a great kid snack, and it's a great food donation. It helps out quite a few people, and we're still contributing to that whenever we can. So bring a donation when you come to the club meeting in person. You can also notice you can also join the meeting on Zoom. This new club room has a great Zoom experience. We're still learning it. There's a few ticks to it that we just have to figure out the best way, but it's a little more interactive with the crowd that's in listening on Zoom. The next VE sessions, the Sierra Foothills VE team meets tomorrow, March 2nd, 7 p.m. at the Confluence Church campus in Auburn. That will be pretty easy. If you're an Elmer for that, it's great when you are able to take the exam and sit with an Elmer afterwards and kind of go through the whole process of what's next. What are you going to do with your upgrade? Or now that you're a new ham, what are you going to buy? What kind of radio to buy? What kind of antenna to get? These are great questions. You get a chance to sit with somebody or a group of people that can give you a few suggestions for your circumstances. So the Sierra Foothills VE team meeting Monday, March 2nd. Usually we go to dinner before then. The Granite Bay VE team meets Saturday, March 14th, 9 a.m. at the Raley's Event Center in Douglas and Auburn Folsom. And the Folsom VE team is Thursday, March 19th, 6 p.m. in Folsom, California. By all means, look at hamstudy.org. If you're going to upgrade, go ahead and sign up for one of those sessions. And, good luck on your upgrade. Okay, this is KW6U with all the announcements going forward. I'll take some more check-ins. Please let me know if you are an in and out.
Kilo November 6, Whiskey, Quebec Uniform K and 6WQ. Quick in and out. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning, Dan. KN6WQU. It looks like it's just you. How are you today?
Good morning, Coffee Break Net, and good morning there at KW6U. This is KN6WQ. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to practice plastic welding. So, we got these thieves that come by and drill holes in your gas tank and, cost hundreds of dollars to fix. I'm trying to learn how I could, use some type of material to kind of remelt it back together. So if you think about like welding, welding kind of like, it basically melts the two metals together, and then you kind of fill it at the same time because there's just not enough metal to come together. So you fill it, and it becomes one. So that's the same thing happens with plastic welding. You can use some filler. In this case, I think I've learned that plastic welding in gas tanks, it's not that it's hard. It's just that the plastic is a little bit different. So it's really hard to get it in there and fit. I suppose if I were to take off and use some material like zip ties or something, like a plastic like that, and then maybe build like a button out of it. Keep heating it up and putting it in there, and then just build a button out of it, and maybe it'll kind of like seal the hole, because the way that they make the gas tanks is that you have the outer liner and an inner liner. So the inner liner seems like it doesn't melt it together so much as the outer liner does. It's a really strange concept. I've tried it with the with like the heating up the little metal staples and stuff. There's another type of machine that I have. Let me let it drop and I'll explain that, and I'll let it back to you. So I got this other machine. Think of it like like staples, like an upside down staple. But the head of the staple does different things. Like, so you have one for corners, like the top, the head of the staple acts like a bridge, and then you have some with like stitching. So it's like a little race car track on the bridge of the head of the staple. Like you go wiggling back and forth, and then you got the legs that come off of it. They got all different kinds. Stuff that you can put in like wet areas that won't rust and all that other great stuff. So you just put it in this little gun. It's got two little legs, and you heat it up, and then it kind of melts into the plastic, and then you just let go of the button, and then you literally just yank the device off. Not just yank, you just kind of pull it off. It's not that hard to pull it right off of there. And once it's off, it's in there forever, and you just come by with some side cutters or dikes, as I like to call them, and just snip them right off, and you're good to go. So it works good for like body work, and especially on vehicles. Or I used it on the crisper inside the refrigerator. The front door of it finally flew off of it, so I glued that back together. And it's a really neat little tool. I think that is probably the best tool I've ever gotten off of Temu or AliExpress or whatever. I think that thing is really neat.
Wow, that's some options there. I didn't even know drilling the gas tank for the gas was actually a thing. I mean, people actually do that. Most of the time I've run into the issues with having to fix a gas tank has more to do with some kind of an accident or an old one that should be replaced. This is remarkable. I didn't even know people did that.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if people do that, right? So there is another device that you think of it like a blow dryer on steroids, right? So instead of putting out 500 watts or something, this thing puts out 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 watts, and it's basically like a rework station gun sort of. But it does the tip being wide. It's actually really very small and narrow, so you can focus the heat in a particular area. So what I was doing was I was trying to heat the outer shell up and get it to kind of solidify a little bit. Like if it was hotter outside, I'm sure it'd have been better, because every time I come around, it's solidified again. So I couldn't heat it up fast enough, and then I was using zip ties, some UV stuff, and I was using that to try to fill the hole. And it actually worked okay for a minute, and then it's because I just couldn't get it to mushroom enough, So it was a practice run anyway, just to see if I could do it, and I think I could if I had the right, if I had the right temperatures outside, the right environment. I think I could probably get it done, and maybe even a hotter classic welding gun from. I used the one from Harbor Freight, and it's only 1,800 watts. If I had maybe 3,000 watts, I could probably easily melt the outer side of that, get it to, do its little thing, and I could close it up and even add some zip tie material if I had to, and then go from there. So yeah, I think we could fix plastic, tanks that have been damaged, by these drilling holes in them.
I'll bet there's a tool out there that does that. That's got to be fascinating. I'm sitting here thinking of a tire plug mechanism of some kind that can do that. Gasoline's a solvent, obviously, so the materials have to be correct. Or maybe some heat can be involved if there's an electric core. And after you get the plug in, you can heat the copper core to heat the plug, the interior part of the plug in. I don't know. There's so many fascinating ways to think about this issue. That's pretty cool that you're working on that. Sounds like fun.
It is. It was definitely a moment where I had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, okay, so I have an electric, heater here. So there's gasoline in the tank, okay? So how much gasoline, how much fumes do I have, what if, right? So I had to make sure that I had enough ventilation versus fumes. I had to use the good old sniffle meter for that one. And then, so I just kind of took I took the fuel pump out and took everything out I could that would allow air to come in there, so that way, if for whatever reason, I struck a flame, then I would be fine. But I wasn't hot enough to do that, for one, and two, I don't think, you'd have to get plastic pretty dang hot for it to melt, especially this stuff. So it just wouldn't do anything. So there's that. But anyway, that's the only thing I was scared about. I wanted to hold on here a little bit tighter since I was the only check-in that Jeff kind of to kind of give a little bit of time to go away here. We're still having issues here at the house with the heater and stuff. So I think my next let's see here, issue is I need to go and I think we're going to shorten the communication cables from the unit to the heads because we think they're too long, or they're communicating, they're cross-talking and stuff, we think. I'm not sure if that's even a case, but it does use a single wire to communicate. And then we're going to make sure that I have landed the heads on the right, electrical connectors basis on which hose is connected to which port on the unit. Not that it matters, but we're going to try a couple things. And right now it's been working for 3 days, but I only have one unit on. So once I start turning it all on, they start having issues. So I think we have an issue where I crossed one by accident, of course, but I don't know. I'm going to turn it all out, make sure it's all good, and then we're going to keep seeking help if we need it. But hopefully the next time I check in the Coffee Break Net, I can say it's finally done. Anyway, I'm off to Plymouth Lake. I'm going to go work on this 673 Chevy Chevelle. Got to change a couple the transmission pan and fix the drive belt system and some little small things. Anyway, back over to you, Jeff.
All right, have fun with that. You've always got the projects going, no doubt. You're constantly working, and it always amazes me. No time for rest. Enjoy a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today if you get a chance. Dan, take care of yourself and be safe with that plastic welding. We wouldn't want to have any accidental fumes with the heat gun that you're using. Ignite something. So have a great day. KN6WQU, KW6U73.
73, Jeff. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day.
All right. This is the Coffee Break Net, KW6U. Oh, let's take a few more check-ins. We got a little more. I am starting to lose my voice here a little bit, so we'll see how we do the rest of the net. KW6U taking check-ins. Let me know if you are in and out.
N9UF.
Good morning, Daniel, N9MUF. Happy Sunday to you. What are you up to today?
Well, just having a great day, heading home from church. I think I can see the end of the wiring cleanup project. Laid a lot more gaffer tape down. I think everything is going to be able to stay where it's taped, and I won't have people saying, hey, we need a little more or a little less cable here. So I'm starting to breathe easier with that project.
Yeah, that sounded like a big rat's nest initially, and now you're getting it cleaned up to where it's a much cleaner, better project that you can follow and maintain easier.
Yeah, with one of the bands I was in, they were always frustrated because we get off the stage and they were like, can we just throw all this in a bag and sort it out later? And I'm like, no, because I'm the one who gets to sort it out. And when you're asking me in setup where something is, I can tell you exactly where it is. You're putting everything back where we got it. And I'm trying to create the same thing at church.
Yeah, I need to kind of do the same thing with my my ham shack here. Just kind of go through the rat's nest that's the back of behind the desk that nobody can see, and really tie it up nice. I'd like to get everything all of the cables wrapped, you know, so that they're not just sitting there kind of tangling on themselves.
It's one of those projects that you need to do until suddenly you need to do it because you're spending 20 minutes as opposed to 2 dealing with cables. Let me see what else today. Trying to figure out if I want to try and add radio. It's one of the parks that I go to. I regularly have people coming up and asking what I'm doing, and if I've got a radiogram pad, maybe offering radiograms to them so they can remember the experience afterwards when their loved one gets the radiogram.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Get it all set up so you can send out a radiogram. That's kind of neat. I haven't thought much about that before. I'll have to look that up.
Well, the ARRL has a pad, and since I'm shifting over to CW instead of digital, I've got some forms you can just print out, and I figured just print out a bunch of them and have a few of them in the bag and hand a pen and a piece of paper and let them know, look, this is just like writing a telegram. You know, if they've got a loved one they want to send something to, feel free, and then just sending it and getting it into the system when I get home.
Yeah, I see it right here. The ARRL has a list of the radiogram message pads, and that's pretty useful. You get 50 sheets or so for $3, you know, just kind of fill it out and transmit forward. That's kind of neat. I like that.
And I figure, you know, it makes amateur radio just a little more present, and it's kind of a what can radio do for me? Well, right there's an example of what radio can do for you, and reminds people that amateur radio is still a part of our lives.
When the satellites and cell phones don't work, they're going to wonder what to do, and they'll remember this capability. So that will help them quite a bit.
That's exactly it. And I'm trying to, again, figure out what we can do, and maybe when we do Whiskey 9 Whiskey at WhitneyCon, we just have one of the docents there managing a radiogram pad and taking them and maybe even being able to send it off and launch them and say, look, we're sending the message right here, right now. See if we can set up that capability as well. We've got a few people that set up WinLink, and so we should be able to pull that off.
Yeah, I think when you show them the WinLink capabilities, it's probably shocking to them that they even know. The people that I've first seen with WinLink, they understand the concept going through the internet, but they don't know that it probably started with for ham radio.
Well, definitely a lot of the people early on in the internet were also avid amateur radio operators. So that's it's always interesting to see how much the kernel and TCP/IP, the same names are in both fields.
Yeah, if you're a hobbyist in one, you get the idea and then you make it happen, or vice versa. You know, it's attractive to both. All the STEM stuff that goes on behind the scenes, like how many people were ham radio operators. It's amazing.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really trying to figure out when going back to the whole idea of setting up the radiograms is if I want to install a WinLink app on my cell phone and say, hey, just type it into here, or if it would feel more real to them if they wrote it out on a radiogram pad.
Or you can just send them a WinLink email. You know, they'll receive it on their phone right then and there.
There's that as well. You know, there's lots of good options, and just, you know, I think showing the integration, too, of amateur radio with things that they're already familiar with is definitely a good thing. My mother-in-law, I sent her a radiogram several years before she passed away, and it was something she'd always mention. Anytime I set up the station down at her place, she was always saying, thank you for that radiogram you sent. So it's something that sticks in people's minds, and and I think that's something that as an amateur radio, when we present it like a field day or a special event, anything we can do to bring the reality of it just beyond the event helps the hobby.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, I think the older generations are at least familiar with the lack of modern internet services, so they kind of understand some of the other ways things happen, but younger people have no clue that this is even a viable option. And, everybody gets quite, I guess in modern times, the world kind of gets stagnant without internet working on any particular emergency. So letting them know the capability that's out there, well, it'll at least stick in their mind and they'll know what to do and not panic.
I remember talking to my nephew about it. He was like, well, isn't that just kind of like Skype? And I said, but the problem with Skype is two things. One, you're using it to talk to people you already know. You don't get to meet new people on Skype. And the second thing is if you take a look at the infrastructure, the Skype messages that we send back and forth between your place and my place, it goes through a bunch of other systems that other people own and we're depending on. And then I brought up Grid Tracker, and I said the messages that I'm sending out right now aren't depending on anything. The visual's depending on the internet, but the signal itself, it's just whatever is at those stations and whatever at my station. And I pointed to a light bulb, and I said, I'm running on less power than that light bulb. What do you think about that? And you could see the light bulb, the low power light bulb go off in his head. Not that he wasn't bright, but we weren't running high power light bulbs. Hi.
I like that analogy. Yeah, it's excellent. People who know how the internet works and how communications work more broadly have a sense for the dependency, and but those that don't know anything about it, they just use it. When they understand the dependencies and see the flaw in a break in the link in a chain of the link, then they can understand that okay, there's alternatives.
Well, I think my frustration comes when somebody sends me an email and then they ask, well, have you got it yet? And I'm like, that's not actually how email is supposed to work. Email is not instant messaging. And they're like, but, and I'm like, no, please trust me on this one. I know the art of cold, and I know how mail was designed to work. If you think that mail should arrive instantly, you've got another thing coming.
And that's a social thing, though. We have all gotten so used to instant access to information, and I don't disagree with you. People should know if they send you an email, they shouldn't have to call you and see if you've gotten it instantly, But then there should be some reasonable time the next day or two for you to look at an email.
Well, see, I set up gray listing on my system, so unless I know your domain and know your mail servers, what gray listing does is it takes it and says, I want to make sure you're a real mail server. Take it, wait 10 minutes, try again. Because a real MTA or mail transport agent will queue it up for a retry, whereas something that's been a virus-infected spam bot will just keep trying over and over again. It's not designed to re-queue mail, so it's a good way of eliminating a lot of spam from my systems. So if I've never communicated with somebody before, it's going to be a good 10 minutes before I see that email in my mailbox, and that's by design.
Yeah, I haven't spent much time learning about gray listing and dealing with it more particularly. I do get a lot of spam, and I just enlisted in a spam removal service, and remarkably, it's been working. The calls and the emails have dropped off. Gray listing would probably complete the circle.
Yeah, I use gray listing and spam assassin, and then I'm a you can tell I've got the suspenders and get the kids off my lawn. I use a program that's been around for a very long time called ProcMail, and I think I've got about 5,000 lines of filtering I've developed myself over the last 30 years.
So you've been doing this for a while, so you've got all the techniques down, and so you don't get too terribly annoyed. Yeah, I'm always concerned about filtering out people that I really actually do want to hear from, but I just need to spend time and learn how to use it better.
Well, that's also why I've got a soft filter, and I do two things in my system. One, every email that comes in gets moved to a backup folder just in case things go wacky, and I send very little to the dev null bucket. I send it to a spam folder where if something goes wrong, I can at least pull it out. It's got to be pretty egregious and pretty consistent for me to send it to dev null.
Well, sounds like a good system. Yeah, when I get ready to do a little more on this, I'm sure I've got some folks in the club that could fill me in on the details of how to make it work well for me. I certainly don't like opening up my email box to 130 emails, and more recently that's gone down to just the usual stuff that I want to see, so that's better.
I really like my ProcMail system because I don't have to worry about setting up mail sorting client side. All of my clients, and I run, I hate to think how many different interfaces I've got to access mail. The filtering's already done. You know, email from the ARRL gets tucked in its folder. Email from Amazon already gets tucked in the Amazon folder, and that helps keep things clear too. But the way that I put it is, mail is my unique brain damage. It's what I like to do, and I've got various MTAs and various mail forwarding agents running all over my house, and it's just because it's what I enjoy. But the way I phrased it to somebody during an interview is I said, look, everybody who does this career has some sort of unique brain damage. They might be able to do quite a bit, but there's always going to be one or two things that they wind up doing just because they absolutely enjoy it, and email is mine.
That's true. A little bit of autism going around, to use the common term for that.
Well, I'm always surprised at some of the stuff that does get through. What I love is my wife will get an email telling her that she's in trouble with her admin, and she's got to click an email to take care of her account, and she'll roll over, in bed and look at me and say, "Am I in trouble again?"
Only if the email was from you, rather than somebody pretending to be one of your services.
It's amazing what looking at headers can do. We were being audited a few years ago, and we had a phishing, and I said, look, the first few times I was on the receiving end of it, and I said, look, you need to put me on the other end of this. You need to tell me what's going on prior, because one, I will find out, and two, if I don't hear from you quickly enough, I'll report your server to AWS, and then we've got a whole bunch of trouble. So I need to be on the knowing what server it's coming from the beginning. And the guy running the audit went, yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. It's always interesting what the headers in an email message can tell you. It might be deep magic, but I think it's magic that's important to at least be able to get a glance at and figure out. It helps you sort out spam, and it can help you sort out source as well.
I know it exists, and I don't look for it. Most people don't recognize that it's even possible. I remember when things started really picking up, and I was taking an interest in web design, web pages, when they were first coming up, and I was having some fun with that, and learned a little bit about the headers and everything that tracks around, that shows you the access path. It's fascinating to look at. I just haven't thought much about it, and since when? Since 19 88 or so.
Well, one of the things I've run across in my job search is people that try and tell me that my resume needs fixing so that it works with an automatic tracking system. I'm like, you don't understand. I look at the company you're recommending, and I look at the headers, and they're kind of owned by the same company. Why do you think that is? And suddenly the conversation goes ice cold.
You never know what people are going to do. Well, anyway, hey, we're getting close towards the end of the net. I'm losing my voice, Daniel. My apologies, but it sounds like you've got things set up very nicely, and your cable management project is bearing fruit. That's good to hear.
I hope it doesn't bear too much fruit. I thought I cleaned everything out, and if there's seeds somewhere, I'm a dead man.
We want no weeds, no weeds. Only organization. Have a great Sunday, Daniel. I appreciate you checking into the net with me and hanging out. I always learn things when I chat with you, so I appreciate it very much. N9MUF KW6U73.
And that's always a pleasure, and it's always a highlight of my day. 7-3 to you, Jeff. Get some good honey and ginger tea in you. Take care of that voice. 7-3 to you in the net, N9MUF.
All right, 7-3. Well, good morning, Coffee Break Net. We're going to get along. I am losing my voice very quickly here. It's 9:38, so I'm going to go ahead and take some in and outs and log onlys. In and outs and log onlys, so I can go get my medicine.
Morning, Jeff in the net. Kilo Golf 6 November Lima Whiskey. In and out.
Question, Jeff.
So I got nobody on that, but I had a question, Jeff. Which station was that?
Jeff, Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, Robert, over.
Oh, Robert, yes, go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I believe you made a comment that you had the Jesus FDX 10, and if so, how do you like that, over?
I've been enjoying the heck out of it. I've used it at field day, our club field day a couple of years. It's nice and sensitive, and it has a good front end, so it doesn't interfere with other radios nearby. It seems to be able to manage other signals nearby. I'm able to clean it up. Once you learn how to set your filters really well, it's got ring.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've been doing a lot of reading on it. I'm looking for my first HF unit here in the next month. So that one in the IC 7300 MX2 was the other one. But another question was, real quick, is that I've noticed that there's a lot of issues with possibly hooking it up to an external screen. Is that true, over?
Yeah, that is true to a degree, although the new ones may have fixed that problem. It uses a serial port, and a USB to serial, if you get the wrong kind of cable, has the potential of burning out one of the components internally to your external visual thing. So it's a weakness in the design. They did not pay for USB or HDMI connection. So it's a serial port thing, and I don't know if they've changed that since then to make it easier. I have to use...
Yeah, from what I've been reading, I don't think so. But what I'd like to do is run maybe a Yaesu through my laptop and then have it go to my computer screen, and I'm not sure if that's even possible.
I don't overuse that. I'm careful about it. So new solutions are coming up all the time, though. And I see in the forums that there's some new ones, and I just have to look up and see what's current.
I appreciate that. You go get you something for your throat, and I appreciate you taking me again, and out, over.
KG6 in Aldea with a comment.
Enjoy your radio search. There's lots of great options out there. They're always improving, so keep an open mind and you'll find what works for you. KO6 KMR, KW6U73. And the other station, I'm sorry that we're doubling with. Come again, please.
Kilo Golf 6 November Lima Whiskey. Good morning, Jeff. I'm in and out, and I also have a comment for, I think it's Robert there.
Yeah, go ahead with your comment.
Right. So Robert, yeah, there is some issues. The DVID on the back side of the radios, you have to take it DVID to DVID. So, go to Goodwill and get a DVID monitor. That's your best bet. There are ways around that, and there's a very detailed video out there. I'd have to dig it up out of my history to find it. But if you email me, I'm good on QRZ. If you email me, I can shoot you that info. As Jeff said, Yaesu didn't officially want to pay. This is the tricky part with this. They didn't want to pay for the HDMI royalties, but the internal component is HDMI to DVI. So they already have HDMI in there. They just didn't want to make it easy. And then ICOM came out with the 7300 Mark II with HDMI. So there you have it.
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Actually, I've got an old monitor with the HDMI connector on it, so I do have that, and just thought it'd be nice to be able to have a bigger screen at times over.
Jeff, he took you out completely. Yeah, I get that, but the resolution on the radios is only like 800 by 600. It's not anything to write home about. So, the older monitors will do just fine. Jeff, back over to you. Good morning.
Comment. Morning, Frank. Yeah, Robert, I've seen all kinds of creative solutions, but I was working from DVI. My apologies. I got that wrong on my handset serial instead. I hadn't thought about it in a while. So thanks for your input on that, Frank. I appreciate it. What's going on with you these days?
I heard another comment in there if you want to take it real quick.
My apologies. I keep stepping over everybody. I'm getting kind of fuzzy here. Comment, go ahead.
Yeah, it's KO6ISJ. With the DVI to HDMI thing, you can go on eBay and get an adapter for under $10. Just saying.
Yeah, Larry, that adapter is actually a potential for creating a problem internally with your radio. It may or may not work really well. And I said, Yaesu may have solved it already with their componentry, but in the earlier versions, people were having to burn components on that.
Roger that. Then don't do that. KO6ISJ, thanks for the info.
All right. Frank, back to you.
A great and lively conversation. And Robert, I have the newer 710, so it's slightly newer than DX10, but it's the smaller version of the radio, a more compact, budget-friendly version, just because, I thought I'd like it better. It has DVI, and it has the same issue where, if you do it wrong, you can burn up. It's one little tiny micro fuse on the board. And as I said, I found a video and explaining the whole setup. So if you want to email me, if you want to see the video, if you want to get into the micro details, feel free to do so. Jeff, not much going on here. Just enjoying the Sunday fun day. Coffee Break Net is being enjoyed on YouTube. Anywhere between 7 and 14 people watching on YouTube alone, and another 2 people over on Twitch. But yeah, it's there every day of the week, 7 days a week. And the chat, it's a little quiet this morning, but usually it's a little lively. Anyway, Not much else going on here, just doing the normal Sunday things for me and getting ready for the week. I do hope you feel better, and yeah, get some honey water and some honey tea or something like that, and get it down your throat. Don't mix the peanut butter with it, though, because that might just irritate your throat sometimes. I do know when I have a sore throat, peanut butter irritates it, so I wouldn't suggest the peanut butter today, but yeah, let's see here. Peanut butter and honey, peanut butter and jelly. There's a whole bunch. Rob YKX earlier mentioned, I think it was him, mentioned peanut butter with your pad thai stuff. Absolutely. Whoops, I almost timed it out there. Yeah, peanut butter works great with a lot of dishes. With that, I'll turn it back to you. You have a great morning, and as I said, get some R&R for that throat there. KW6U, KG6NLW. Good morning.
All right, Frank. Thanks for the suggestions. Yeah, honey and ginger, honey and lemon, or honey, ginger, and lemon tea sounds really good right now. So, take care. KG6NLW, KW6U73.
73.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take this down to the witching hour here, and we'll just get some log only so I can close it up a little bit early. This is KW6U for the Coffee Break Net, taking log only, please.
Whiskey 60, Oscar Mike.
Kilo November 6 Victor Yankee Delta, Kilo November 6 Victor Yankee Delta, for log only.
AK6EO for the log.
Whiskey 6, Hotel Sierra, log only. November 1, Yankee Charlie November. This is Mike for the log only.
November 6, Charlie Tango Charlie for the log.
KB5AKO for the log only. Good morning, all.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Charlie, Sierra Yankee for the log.
Let me go through these to make sure I've got everybody correct. I have a feeling I have an error here. Got to be one of them at least. But good morning, Rick at WB3CSY. Got you in the log. Victor, KB5AKO. Got you in the log. Chris, good morning. Hey, Jiu-Jitsu buddy, N6CTC. And November 1, Yankee Sierra November. Got you in the log. Whiskey 6, Hotel Sierra. I've got you in the log. And here's where I think I might have gotten it a little goofy, but we'll find out. AK6CO, is that correct?
Negative. It's Alpha Kilo 6 Echo Oscar. It's Craig in the log.
Echo Oscar, Craig. Thanks for that correction. I appreciate it. Good morning, Vincent, KN6VYD. I've got you in the log. And Charlie, W6SOM. I've got you in the log. Nice to hear you. Anyone else for the log?
WH6Q, Whiskey Hotel 6 Queen.
All right, I've got WH6Q for the log. Oh, this is kind of cool. It seems like it's really slowed down. It's been a slow Sunday anyway. I certainly appreciate everybody checking in with me and hanging out this morning. I'm going to go ahead and get some tea and clear up my throat here. So have a great morning, everybody. This is KW6U, returning the repeater back to normal operation earlier today. Thank you so much for hanging out this morning, and 7-3.
73, Jeff. Feel better. Great net today. KG6 and LW clear.
November 6 Bravo Kilo Hotel for a quick radio check.